All right, so this should be a review from past courses. Writing the equation of the line, we have the equation of the line that we were graphing the past few days that will be on your quiz. Remember y equals mx plus b, and then the m is what? The slope, and then the b is the y-intercept, and it says it right there. So that we've been graphing with. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to write the equation from given information. And to write the equation, we're going to be using point slip form. Point slip form is y minus y1 equals m parenthesis x minus x1. Point slip form is called point slope form because in the form there is a ordered pair and the slope. There is a point and a slope in that form. The third thing up there says given points x1, y1, and x2, y2, we can find the slope. Do you remember how to find the slope if you're given two ordered pairs? There's a formula. You did this table. So the slope formula, you may remember it. Nobody remembers that? Starts with y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the formula for slope. When you know two ordered pairs, you can find the slope. And remember, when we use slope to graph, we always do the rise over the run. Always do the rise over the run. I spelled it wrong on purpose. Why did I spell it wrong on purpose? So you can remember what? The y's go on top. Y's go on top. All right, so here is a linear equation that is graphed. It says that the graph shows the distance asteroid 2012 DA14 travels in x seconds. Write an equation of the line and interpret the slope. So we're going to write the equation of the line, and then we're going to interpret the slope. So to write the equation of the line, we're going to use point slope form, which is on your other page, so I'm just going to write it up here so we know what it is. It is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And it's called point slope form because you need a point and the slope. Let's look at the graph. Do we have a point? Do we have a point? What is the point? So I have the ordered pair x1, y1, that's 5, 24. That is a point. That's the point I'm going to use in point slope form. So I have the slope. No. So in order to find the slope, I need two ordered pairs. I have to do, for slope, I have to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I need two ordered pairs. So you have to look carefully. Is there any other ordered pair that this line passes through that you can pick out? 0, 0. Passes right here. See that? So 0, 0. 0, 0 could be our other ordered pair. So we can use both ordered pairs to find the slope. So I'm going to do 24 minus 0 over 5 minus 0. Just 24 over 5. We have our slope. So we're going to plug it into point slope form. When you plug it into point slope form, you leave the first y alone. So it's just y minus. Then you do your y1, which was 24. Then you leave the equal sign. And we put in our slope, 24/5. Then you have parentheses, you leave x minus there, and you put in x1, which was 5, and close parentheses. So that's point slope 4. And then I didn't leave a whole lot of space there. I'm not going to write kind of small, or just right out to the side or something, because we're going to run out of space, I promise. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to simplify this, and we're going to put it so it says y equals. So we're going to put it in the form that we've been graphing it in. So what I have to do is I have to get rid of the parentheses. I'm going to distribute 24/5 into the parentheses. So I have y minus 24 equals, I'm going to do 24/5 times x, so 24/5 x, minus, how do I multiply a fraction times a whole number? Put it over 1, so I put 5 over 1, and then what do? Let's multiply a fraction and a whole number. I put it over 1, so now I'm multiplying two fractions. How do I multiply 24/5 times 5 over 1? You go straight across. So we're going to have 24 times 5 divided by 5. 24 times 5 divided by 5. What is it? I don't know what 24 times 5 is, but 24 times 5 divided by 5 is just 24. Did you need your calculator? 24 times 5 divided by 5. The 5 that you multiply by and that you divide by, they cancel each other out. So now we add 24 to both sides so that we can get y by itself. We have 24/5 x plus 0, so 24/5 x. That's our equation. Then it says we have to interpret the slope. When you see the words interpret, you're going to write in words what the slope stands for. Okay? And then when they have the answers in the book, they have it in a simplified form. So if you needed to find this as a decimal, you could. You're supposed to bring your calculators today? Okay, take them out. What's 24/5 as a decimal? Ooh, look at all the pink paid ladies that all sit next to each other and have the same pink calculator. Sharpie, you can borrow one from me. Write your name on the calculator. Already got it? Is it on the calculator or the case? Get it on the calculator too. Because some people see shiny pink things and want to take it. So put your name on the case. If you want to borrow a Sharpie, I got it. Anybody who wants to write their name on it. Okay, I'm sorry. Where were we? What is it? 4.8. So we're going to interpret the 4.8, what that means according to this situation. So when you interpret, it's going to have to do with distance and time. So 4.8 is the rise, and what's it over? Over 1, so that's the run. What does that mean according to this problem? What does this thing have to do with? Is it a car? What is this? Is it a pony? It's an asteroid. So we are talking about the asteroid travels what distance? What distance? 4.8 miles every what? Second. Or per second. You could say per second. So that would be interpreting. Writing it in words. Yeah, I told you there's not enough room. Sorry about that. And then the second part, the asteroid came within 17,200 miles of the Earth in February 2013. About how long does it take the asteroid to travel that distance? So if it is 17,200 miles of Earth, if it's coming straight at you, how long do you have to run? So this 17,200 is the miles. So we will plug that part in for which one's miles, X or Y, according to the table or to the chart graph. Which one's miles? In the graph, which one's miles? The distance in miles is the Y. So I'm going to put 17,200 in for the Y, and then I'll have equals 24/5 X. We have to solve for X. So if I am multiplying by 24/5, I would need to divide it to cancel it out, but I can't divide by 24/5. What do I do instead? Multiply by the reciprocal. Excellent. So we're going to multiply by 5 over 24. And again, you can use your calculator for this. We're going to multiply by 5 over 24. Put 17,000 over 200. So you're multiplying 5 times 17,200 over 24. Divided by 24. Use your calculator. You're multiplying 5 times 17,200 and then divided by 24. Read, what is that number on there? Did you not just have it on there? Oh, you don't know how to get back. The arrow up gets you back. Carly, do you have it on yours? What do you have? 583, is that what you said? There's some decimals. We're just going to do an approximation. It's approximately that many watts. We're talking time, that many watts. Seconds, because it's in each time in seconds. So if your mom's like, you have 3,583 seconds to hide from the comet, would you know how much time that is? No. So let's find it in a time that we understand a little bit better. How many seconds in a minute? 60. So let's divide this by 60 and find out how many minutes that is. Where are we at now? Approximately what? 59.7 minutes? That's probably a time you understand, or close to an hour, approximately an hour. How long you have to evacuate. I don't think you're going to make it. Sorry. End up like the dinosaurs. What? Well, where the comets not hit.
The other side of the world in 59 minutes.
Exactly. Like I said, I don't think you're making it.
Just a quick trip to the other side of the world.
All right. Let's do another one for good practice. See if we can do fun stuff next class. After the quiz. Think about evacuating. Here we go. Has anybody bought a car before? Yeah. So you buy a car, and usually, unless you pay for it cash, if you have a lot of money stored up, you don't have to worry about this. But usually, you buy a car, you have a loan, and you pay some of that loan every month. Okay. This car, I don't know how much the car costs, but my loan was for how much money? $18? 1,000, right? Because it says in thousands of dollars, and it hits at 18. So our loan is in $18,000, not $18. You need a loan for $18. I don't think you should be buying a car. Do something else first. And this graph is the remaining balance after the number of payments, and the payments are per, it says up here, the payments are what? Per what? It says in your paragraph. How often do you pay for it? Do you know how often you pay for a car? Because you that bought a car, do you have a loan, or do you pay for cash? Cash. We have to pay for our cars straight up with a loan. Do you know how often you pay for your cars? It's monthly. It's monthly. Yeah. So you can see there's how many total months that you're going to be paying for this car? 60 months, which is how many years? 5 years. Yep. All right. So we're going to write an equation of the line and interpret the slope and the y-intercept, and then what is the remaining balance of after 36 payments. So we'll do that for a second. Let's do the line. My equation for line is point sub form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I have this memorized. I teach it every year, multiple times per year. I have it memorized because I keep doing it over and over again. So until you have it memorized, you should keep writing it over and over again every time I do it. And you can be just like me. Okay. I'm sure that's your goal. Do we have any ordered pairs? So which point should go in my point form? Jacob. 10-15? Does it have to be 10-15? Doesn't matter which one. So you can also use 0-18. Either would be fine for point sub form, but I'm going to tell you a secret. If there's a 0 in it, it's going to be easier to plug it in and solve. So I'm going to use 0-18. So that one is going to be my x1, y1. I still need my slope. So we're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we'll use the other one as x2, y2. All right, so I'm going to do 15 minus 18 over 10 minus 0, and that gives me negative 3 over 10. When we write our equation, y minus y1 is 18 equals our slope, negative 3/10, parenthesis, x minus x1 is 0, point slope form. And then we're going to simplify it and make it say y equals, so it's nice and easy to graph with. We'll distribute the negative 3/10. That's just negative 3/10 x, and then you multiply it by 0, it's not there. And then add 18. So what does the y-intercept mean for this situation? What's the y-intercept mean? What is the y-intercept? Well, it's the amount of your loan, because you might have had $5,000 for cash, and then you had to get the loan for $18,000. So we don't know how much the car costs, but it's the amount of your loan. That $18,000 is the amount of your loan. And then negative 3/10, that's my slope. What's that mean? I'll write it as a decimal. What's negative 3/10? Let's think about the picture here. Our rise is negative 3, our run is 10. So I'm going down 3 what, run 10 what? What's down 3 mean? In the picture. Down 3 means what? So how much am I going if I'm down 3? How much? $3? $3,000. So we're going to go, we're going to pay $3,000 every 10 months. But we're going to simplify that. I want to know how much it is per month. I want to know how much it is per month. So instead of 3,000 over 10, what is it per month? 300 per month. So we simplify it down so the bottom number is $300 per month. And then you can say, does that seem reasonable that we might pay $300 per month for a car loan? Do you know? Does that seem reasonable? Just curious if you know this way. It is reasonable. I think $3,000 per month is not reasonable. I mean, that's more than a lot of houses. So, I mean, I'm sure you could buy a car that costs that much, but not when you've only loaned $18,000 over 5 years. All right, then the last is, what is the remaining balance after 36 payments? So where does 36 go into the equation? Is it the x's or is it the y's? What's 36? X's or y's? What? X's. It's the months. So we'll put that in. We'll have y equals negative 3/10 times 36. Plus 18. We'll learn something really cool in your graphing calculator right now. You ready? You ready to learn something really cool? You got your graphing calculator out? Come on. I'm going to type that into my calculator. I'm not going to type in y equals. I'm going to type in the other side. You ready for this? Super cool. Okay. So hit alpha, the alpha button, and then the y equals button. And this little menu should pop up. And then you hit enter. And you can type in a fraction. Alpha y equals. Try it. Alpha. Oh, you're everybody having trouble with alpha y equals? Need help finding the y equals? So I'm going to type, what was the number I'm typing in? Negative 3 over 10, then parenthesis 36. Close parenthesis plus 18. Well, that doesn't tell me a decimal though. Under math, you go under the math button, which is also in this like first column. Right there is how you can change it to a decimal. 7.2. Go to 2. Is that a subtraction sign or a negative sign? Just on top of it, hit negative, and I'll change it, and I'll hit enter, it should work. Yep, I've seen all the mistakes. So. All right. Okay, this next one. This will be the last one we do today. How much time do we have? Okay. Oh, we don't have it. I forgot what period it was. All right, so we'll have to fix that. We'll have to go over that next time.